diversity. So you think, oh, this is for a few people, like only my closest. It's actually, it'll work way better the more people you invite and bring into the system. Abundance and diversity. So you can create lots of accounts on there. So imagine our current systems say money and profit are more important than the natural world. That is what's driving our culture's health and ecosystem into the ground. It's killing us. We want a new system. Imagine what you worked hard to build, your soil with compost, green manure, holistically managed livestock, and you were paid for this. Imagine we test the soil life, and the more life there is, the more you get. The more ground cover, no bare ground, the more you get. So what are the ideas you have right now around regenerative actions? What are you and others in your community could be rewarded for this? As a Zimbabwe Circle, we can support you to bring this campaign onto the Seeds platform, to bring this idea to all the citizens of Seeds and be voted on to receive Seeds. So Seeds is a system designed and governed by the people who use it. The system is designed to be stable. This should be around the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, when at the moment it's increasing in value until that go live point where it will be stable. So yeah, we've kind of said the rest, but maybe we go back to that question of what are the ideas or what are you doing right now that are regenerative actions in your community? If some of you would like to share around that, either in the chat or out loud.
All right, Laurie, I have a question. My question is specifically about the seeds token. I was checking the seeds token on the market, on CoinMarketCap and on Telos blockchain. You talked about it being a stable currency. It doesn't seem to be stable to me at the moment. And if it wants to be stable, if the seed currency is going to be stable, at what value are you planning to peg the seed currency? That's where I was.
Thanks for that. Yeah, at the moment it's not stable. It's going up and it's increasing in value every moon cycle. So everything with Seeds is based on moon cycles, not on monthly cycles. So it's increasing until the go live point. So go live is going to be when there are 1 million users. And so that the system will be stable enough then. So, and they're basing it on between 80 cents to $1 will be the stable point for one seed. So if others could, if you want to share about what are the regenerative actions you're already doing right now in your communities. Anybody want to say anything? All right.
Yes, I would like. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just I would like to share my experience. And so here in refugee camp, the first person to learn about seeds, and I was part of the training that Precious has been a host, tools of regenerative renaissance. This is where I learned about seeds, and currently I'm the one person here. I'm leading an organization which I have more than 100 people are in our organization, and I would like just to start using seeds as our currency. And the problem is, despite having we can have seeds, but the problem also is how to change seeds into fiat. And so if we could have enough money, which is our that we consider as fiat, it could be easily to change seeds or to use seeds in the community, as there is someone that we can go if you would like to get fiat, it can be easily to exchange. So this is where just I'd like to get some advice.
Thanks for that. Yeah, the point of seeds is to build a new financial system around regeneration. So it's about creating those links within your community where people will exchange products and services for seeds. That is the overall vision. If everybody takes seeds and just changes them to fiat, we're doing this, we're still part of the original system. So even though there might be urgent needs, like if you're starting out and you need to survive or you need to get some materials to, like we had to do for the data today, it's fine. Of course, we're creating something new and step by step. But if everybody in the seeds ecosystem just changed everything to fiat, we wouldn't be doing anything new. So it is really about creating those links within every one of our communities around regenerative actions. At the moment, I would say the most important point is to save those seeds until the go live point, because it's increasing in value. And once we're go live, if we have created exchange systems within our communities where you can go and buy tomatoes with seeds, and you can go and buy everything you need with seeds in your local community, and that it's all based on a regenerated landscape and community, then we will be doing something different.
Faro in the comments says that we are working on creating a space which allows the family to take care of basic needs using available and accessible resources, mainly using permaculture principles. And I think what Laurie has just said is really critical here. I know that it is a mind shift to think about what is it that we actually need money for. I'm talking about, when I say money, I'm talking about fear. If you are in a community where most of the services can be done or are being done by people inside the community, and you do a serious sit down and think about how can we exchange that value internally before we start going out to buy it from other people, which is just basically taking resources from our community and giving them away, it will open up a lot of amazing doors. And that's one of the key things I think in the seed community, is that we are creating this and we are solving problems as they arise, and people are willing to be in the mindset of abundance. That what I do for the community also is good for me, is good for the planet in general, but also just, thinking about it, what is it that we need money for in our community? And what do we gain by keeping the little money that we have inside the community, the little value that money can generate inside our own community instead of going out and buying things outside? So that could be a place to start. And then, of course, if there is something that is needed urgently to go and buy medication, for example, if you have not managed to solve that problem internally, then you have to find a way to swap seeds. Yeah.
I don't know if other people have shared ideas, but here's some of the things I put in that resound here in this community, but maybe there's other things. Sorry?
We have a hand up from McDonald.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've got a question there. I've been thinking about it. In my case, I've got a nursery. We sell a lot of trees. We are a growing nursery. I think we've been in existence for about 3 years now. So I'm thinking my clients are mostly in the diaspora, and I'm here in Zimbabwe. And I'm thinking that since they will be rewarded for using the seeds currency, it can be something very attractive for them to pay using that seed currency. But probably my major worry is that we might have what are called liquidity challenges, because at this stage of growth, it's like we make sales, we go and buy materials for expansion, So I'm thinking at the stage at which this seed currency is, it will not be possible for me to buy raw materials in Harare, for example, using those seeds. So I'm saying, how can I solve that potential liquidity problem? I can make a lot of sales and then I have a lot of seeds, but it will be a bit difficult to transact now using those seeds. That's
I would say that thank you for that, McDonald, that the way you work with that is you start creating that system of exchange with the businesses that you need to be getting materials from, but also always keeping in mind that that vision of regeneration. So say, for example, I mean, I don't know I know there's many amazing businesses coming up in Harare. And there's, for example, there are people developing compostable plastics. And so they're made of plant starches. So if you needed to grow your trees in bags, you could approach that company and say, hey, I need bags to grow my trees in and to sell my trees in. Are you interested in seeds? And you start sharing what seeds is, or inviting them to come to sessions that are happening in the global seeds community, where any companies or organizations who are interested but don't know what it is can get a presentation about what it is, so that those businesses start to accept seeds or all the materials that you need.
Okay.
To add to that, McDonald, is that we can take that challenge to the seeds community also and see if people can help us come up with a solution that would work in Zimbabwe in this particular case. So that is one of the beauties of being in this community, is that we have people that spend a lot of time trying to crack these things in other countries, and then they can give us their experiences, and then we can apply it in Zimbabwe and see how it works.
I have a question.
Definitely.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, because I'd like to ask this question very well. You know that I'm not good at English. Is that because I would like to address my question to Laurie, and I'd like to address this question in French.
That's fine. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Laurie, ma question est la suivante. Donc, vous savez, donc il y a beaucoup de monnaies virtuelles qui ont été inventées, mais beaucoup d'entre elles n'ont eu donc les chances d'évoluer. Donc, comme SEED est un nouveau système financier, mais aussi donc une monnaie virtuelle, je voudrais demander un élément convaincant que nous pouvons donc donner aux usagers, donc localement, les personnes qui vont atteindre ce système, qui vont utiliser cette monnaie. Donc, un élément ou bien une information convaincante afin qu'ils puissent donc croître cette monnaie avant donc qu'elle soit lancée officiellement.
Merci, parfait. J'ai un petit peu de mal à t'entendre très bien, mais je pense que tu demandais par rapport à l'évolution pour devenir un citoyen dans le système de SEEDS, c'est ça? C'était ça ta question?
Sorry.
Tu voulais savoir comment on évolue pour être un citoyen dans le système de SEEDS?
Mais non, donc je voudrais demander...
J'ai pas tout entendu la question.
Je voudrais demander comment nous pouvons convaincre les gens qui atteignent le système, parce que vous savez très bien qu'il y a d'autres monnaies virtuelles qui ont été inventées, mais qui n'ont pas eu la chance d'évoluer.
D'accord. C'est juste que je ne t'entends pas très bien. Donc, comment on va convaincre les gens quand il y a d'autres systèmes qui ont... Oui. Je pense pour moi pour convaincre les gens, ça va être qu'ils commencent à voir la vision de ce que c'est Seeds, déjà que c'est pas juste un autre échange crypto qui a pas du tout de sens et que c'est pas égal pour tout le monde. Quand là, la vision de Seeds, c'est vraiment, c'est beaucoup avec l'égalité entre tous. C'est pas pour juste quelques personnes qui vont devenir très riches. Donc, c'est vraiment pour tout le monde. Et le moment que les gens ils commencent à voir les histoires dans des différentes régions du monde, parce qu'il y a des gens dans le Seeds plateforme qui sont en train d'essayer de faire des vidéos autour des communautés qui sont en train de créer ces échanges déjà pour inspirer les autres. Et c'est vraiment, je pense que c'est vraiment à voir avec de réfléchir ou d'agir dans l'abondance. Et les gens, ils voient ça. Ils voient que c'est plus que juste un mot ou quand il y a l'action et la passion derrière. Mais j'aimerais beaucoup, je serais très contente de parler plus de ça avec vous à un autre moment, avec d'autres Français, si vous voulez.
Just we received the response, and for who didn't know the English, I was asking the main information which you can dispense for the community so that they can trust in this new financial system. It was my question.
Thank you, perfect. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm happy to have another call and do it all in French with the others there who would like to know more. I'm very happy to do that.
Perfect.
So I think because I don't know what time we're on now and we've still got quite a bit to go through, I just want to quickly go through these actions. And again, these actions by themselves are not necessarily regenerative. As Precious beautifully said, they are, it's all context driven. But if they are helping to heal land, heal our communities, and they can be the first steps towards that regenerative future that we hope for. So these are things that might be considered more rural actions because I'm thinking more in my rural context. But think of all the actions you can be doing in whatever situation, whichever context you're in. So like for here, making rainwater harvesting earthworks, planting food forests, mentoring young people, counseling groups, building soil and tree planting, because those go hand in hand. Because if we don't build the soil and we just plant trees, the trees will die or they'll get attacked by something. We have to build the soil before planting the trees. Otherwise, it might not be regenerative.
I think the biggest, one of the biggest things, at least in Matabeleland, is heading. How do we head in regenerative ways with holistic grazing and all that? Because people love their animals, and for now they have not been a direct benefit from having many. So I think if that issue can actually be solved, that would be amazing to have a regenerative heading, which I know that we are all working on. But I think that's something that really could be emphasized across Zimbabwe. Yeah. Okay. Do you have more things to go through, Laurie, or should we open up for more questions?
Sorry, I dropped out. I don't know what happened. The realities of living in rural Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Can you allow me to share screen again, Stanley?
Yes, I will do that.
I'm not sure at what point it dropped out. I was just talking to myself, I think, for some time.
No, it was fine. It wasn't. It was, you finished, I think, and then I asked you a question if you had more things to say.
I have to do this from the start again. Oh no. Oh look, now the squiggles have gone. That's better. Yeah, so I was just sharing about some of these regenerative actions that I was thinking of here in rural Zimbabwe, but there are many others, and again, as Precious said, they are context driven. So we're all in different places. We are, yeah, in very different situations. So no action is the same. Stanley, are you still recording?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay, I don't see it on my screen, so yeah, it's okay, just checking. So yeah, you can see counseling groups, building soil and planting trees, because those two really should go hand in hand. These are all actions that can be leading us towards a more regenerative future. But we have to really think about that context first that Precious shared with us, and that we create ourselves in whatever community or business or organization or home that we're in. Community gardens using agroecology and permaculture, community building events, Skillshare, caring for people and animals, traditional and organic seed swaps, taking actions to live peacefully with wildlife, sharing knowledge and inspiration on how to build our soils, or any of the actions that are inspirational and regenerative, sharing that with different generations and other communities, sharing our stories is really, really powerful. So teaching and sharing about fuel efficient rocket stoves. Please feel free to share other actions that you are already doing or would like to do, and be rewarded for with seeds. So I'm going to read a story now. Sure. So I'm going to read a story out to you to try and help you imagine what a scenario looks like, or a story looks like, or a situation looks like. But, oh no. Okay, with seeds, I'm going to have to read it out from my screen, or I'm going to have to move. Sorry, trying to read off of screens at the same time. I don't know if there are any other things that have come up in the chat around regenerative actions while I just quickly search.
I can check. From Chennai, she's saying, what is community doing already? She says they are teaching each other how to bake using underground earth baking, holistic plant grazing, pass on their heifer scheme, improve crop yield and soils using animals, biogas production, community gardens, earth building for home decorations. And then a response from Tommy. Tommy says, for the work the community is doing already, I am attracted to the biogas production. So there's already an exchange going on there about what could be exchanged in terms of things that are happening with Chennai, and Tommy is interested in this work.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, I'm ready to read my story now. So this is a story to share the vision of seeds and how it can work in the context in which we live in rural Zimbabwe. This story is from a man who went to visit his sister after a long time, and he is sharing the story with his family once he has returned home. As you know, I went to visit my sister's village last week, as it had been a long time, and she wanted to share the changes happening there and let me know. Sorry, I'm just going to start again. There was some background noise distracting me. So, as you know, I went to visit my sister's village last week, as it had been a long time, and she wanted to share the changes happening there. And let me tell you, I couldn't believe it when I arrived. As I'm walking from the main road down the sandy path, dust turns to green, and everywhere I look, I see life. As I walk and greet others, I say good morning, and I'm only greeted with smiles and comments like, the grass is growing well. The rain is just perfect today. And I start to wonder, something is very different here. I see fields full of food, many different types of food. Fat, happy cattle moving like a herd of buffaloes. There are fruit trees, indigenous and new types, I don't know. Then I see a shed full of bikes close to the road and a young man sitting there. Bike, he calls? What do you mean? Would you like to use a bike to get to your destination? How much is it? I ask, knowing I only have enough dollars for my travel back home. We mainly use seeds, he said. Seeds, I say. What, like maize or pumpkin seeds? No, he smiles and explains. Seeds is a currency we are using here. Who are you visiting? He asks. I explain I'm here to visit my sister, and the young man makes a quick phone call, and next thing he says, it's okay. She will send seeds for your journey that side. You can use it while you are here and drop it off on your way out. I couldn't believe it. I felt so happy to be trusted as a stranger and to have this opportunity to make my journey easier. There was a large basket woven from locally grown ilala on the front of the bike where I could put my parcel for my sister. And so I carried on, amazed by the road, no corrugations and no erosion. I passed a bustling market. This never used to be here. I think to myself, it used to be a stall with only tomatoes someone had brought from the closest town to sell, and only tomatoes. I walked around to see what was available and saw so many wonderful things. Veg and fruit stalls with every kind of green veg and okra and tomatoes of different colors like I'd never seen. And indigenous plants dried for tea for many different ailments, many fruits, indigenous and exotic. I saw a clay pot solar fridge keeping amasi and milk cool in the midday sun. The second-hand clothes were there too, and a tailor who had taken these clothes to create new designs, really very nice. I really wanted to buy something for you, Mama, but I only had my travel money, so I couldn't. There was beautiful wooden furniture and a new shop where anything broken, anything could be fixed. I saw a beautiful building unlike any others I'd seen before, and there were children learning, many groups of children, and solar panels on the roof. And so many spaces coming up all around the central market. Places where you can learn about computers, a team building and making solar panels and parts, people producing very nice soaps and cosmetics, and the local farmers grow the ingredients. A movie theater, a restaurant and bakery, so many things. My mind was racing, so many questions. How has this happened? I've never seen a village like this in Zimbabwe. I carried on to my sister's place, passing beautiful homesteads. Some were traditional, but looked very different, and so much food growing around. Solar in every home, and I saw big tanks catching rain from the roofs and taps. How could this be in an area that has always been so dry? Some of the houses looked very modern and nice, but didn't look like cement or daga, and I hadn't seen any brick kilns around the place. I went past a large dam, only it wasn't on a river, it was high in the landscape. There were rivers flowing too. I even saw a solar-powered bus taking children home from school. When I arrived at my sister's place, the look of disbelief on my face must have been clear. She laughed and welcomed me into her beautiful home. Welcome, my brother, welcome. It has been too long, she said. Too long indeed, so long that I've arrived in a different place, I replied. My brother, come and sit and let's have tea and talk about it all. We walked onto the veranda of her modern house. The walls were thick and the plaster looked very strong. It was cool everywhere and there were very comfortable seats. What is happening in your place, you see? I asked. My brother, we are on a journey as a village, as a community. We have chosen a path of plenty. Instead of telling ourselves we are poor every day, we came to realize we are rich. If we work together to build our soil, our community, heal ourselves and the land, then opportunities are plenty. We decided to start working on building our soil rather than letting it run away in every storm. We came up with the plan together. We make decisions all together until everyone is agreed. As we built the soil, we were able to grow many things, and we used some of our knowledge from our elders and some new ideas. And while we started this journey, we heard of seeds. Seeds is a way of rewarding people who are on this journey of regeneration for people and all life. We all have a universal basic earned income in seeds. It's the currency to cover our basic living costs. Then in groups, we wrote proposals for business ideas based on the principles of regeneration. We started with a marketplace where everyone could come and bring their produce. There is a very smart Scotch cart that travels around too with orders of produce for those who are far and elderly, and so they can have access to goods. So because we all had these seeds, the currency, more and more businesses accepted the currency, and more businesses and organizations grew. You know, the soap factory is a cooperative and I work there. I love making soap, and we only work 5 hours a day in the week, and all the profits are shared amongst the workers. The farmers in the village get a very good price, in seeds of course, for the ingredients we use in the soap. I also spend some time doing mentoring with young girls, and I get rewarded in seeds. There is a very large area in our village. We have only indigenous fruit trees and oil trees, and all the produce and products made from this area, all the proceeds from the sale of these goes to a community fund, so more people can start new businesses. We have events where we come together to do many beautiful and fun things. We all have been living a better life because of this, and it's not because one big company or industry came and told us they could give us jobs, or an NGO giving out food from far away. We did this ourselves. And seeds is what supports us to do this, to make our village more beautiful than ever before. Oh, this is amazing, my sister. I want to go home and share this story with my family and village and try to do the same there. Will you help me? I said to her. Of course, my brother, give me your phone and let's start the journey in seeds. My sister then downloaded the seed passport on my phone. It's like EcoCash, but much better. The value stays the same. It doesn't devalue and become worthless. And in the invite, she sent me many seeds to start, so I can invite others and so I could bring you some gifts from this beautiful village. I spent 2 days exploring the wonders of that place, the life you can't believe, how well everyone lives, so many amazing designs that mean people live such a high standard of living, but it's not at the cost of anything else. They don't destroy others or nature to rise, they rise as one. The room I stayed in at my sister's place was built from natural materials, like dugger and sand, but you couldn't tell. It looked very modern and well finished. She told me how she hosts travelers from all over who stay in this cottage, and she can pay with seeds, and they can pay with seeds. She also took me to the market to show me how the seeds passport works. And after one stall, I was off on my own as it was easy to use. I was so happy. I left on my bike with my parcel of gifts from the market for you all. Wait, children, let me finish and I will show you. I have many ideas now on how we can bring our village up. I have many seeds to invite everyone in the village, and we will start to plan together how we will rebuild and regenerate our soil first. Then we can bring our ideas and proposals together. My sister introduced me to other people on the Seeds platform who are all over the world, who are on the same journey, and they can help us to write our business ideas and how to apply for seeds for this, and share tools with us to heal our broken community so we can work together and turn our desert into paradise. Now come and see the wonders I brought for you with seeds. That's the story, to try and help everybody imagine what, it's just one story of many, and everybody's story will be different. This is just, if I'm dreaming, that's what I was dreaming for the village in which I live, and how seeds can support that journey. And I found in our work in the past, in some places that have degraded so much that people find it difficult to dream. And so having that vision is really, really important. And if we are going to recreate or create something different and be part of something different, we have to have a really beautiful vision in the first place to take us there. So I would invite people to write their own stories and have that. It's very much like that context of the future, the holistic context, but going into a lot more detail. And so we actually are creating those links and those systems, and Seeds supports that. There's somebody with their hand raised.
It's
McDonald,
I think.
Yes. One more question I wanted to ask is, if I've got US dollars and I want to buy the seeds, how do I go about it? Do I need something like a Visa card? Or
there are swapping platforms. Sorry, I thought you'd finished. There are platforms where you can swap seeds. I haven't done that because I don't have a Visa card, for example. But if you do have PayPal, or there are different methods that people are using. So once you get you can see it on the website, on the Seeds website, it's on there as well. And then there's a couple of Telegram channels, and on Discord, there are channels where people are swapping.
Yeah.
So there might be something that works for you.
I have done it a few times, McDonald, and it's very simple. You send a message saying, I'm looking to buy this amount of seeds or to swap this amount of seeds, and people respond and they give you their PayPal details, and then that's it. And you can direct message me as well and see if I can support you to do that.
Okay, I was saying if I have cash, you see, it's like I have got cash, or do I need to put that cash in a Visa card and then use that Visa card to buy the seeds? Because I'm thinking earlier on, I asked about my clients, the possibility of my clients paying for trees with the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to find out how easy it is for them to get those seeds from where they are. Yeah. So
let's discuss that with Tonde, because I think Tonde has gone a step further with this discussion, and he might have other ideas about how to do it in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Because what one thought that comes to mind is that if we have been doing this campaign with trees as well, with Tonde, and if there are people that are already looking into swapping their seeds in Zimbabwe, there could be a plan that we can put forward to do that from cash.
Okay. Actually, I was thinking about it in terms of my clients. When I want to sell the idea to them that they I was looking at somebody who wants to do that, and saying how easy is it for them to do that.
Yeah, for now, I think if you don't have a Visa card or you are not on PayPal, it will be not so straightforward. But it could be that someone who has a Visa card is also on EcoCash. You could swap with them. So there's a possibility there. Let's look at it.
Yeah,
okay,
and
yeah,
I think
a Visa card, if it's possible with a Visa card, then it should be. I think it should be workable for them.
Yeah.
I think it should be. Only maybe.
Yeah, there are lots of possibilities. Sorry, McDonald, you keep cutting out. It's a bit hard to hear.
Okay, I'm saying it might be a challenge for someone who has got physical cash. Then, yeah, if payment can be done using a Visa card or PayPal.
Actually,
yeah,
there might be a simple solution, because if you take myself, for example, if I wanted to use cash in Zimbabwe, I'll be happy to swap that. And then what you do is put the money on EcoCash and then we swap it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not impossible. We can figure it out very quickly, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And this is exactly the kind of, there's just, I think, 2 more screens and we've gone through everything. It is like, there is no